Hey guys, welcome to another video. So today I'm with Narinrit. He's a blockchain security expert. He actually building few of the application on the top of the blockchain domain. So hi Nariam, how you are doing for this conference? What do you think, like how this blockchain things are going from your side?
I think this is like a promising technologies, and it's like people all over the world, especially those techie, right? Tech guys,
Yeah, exactly.
So fascinated with these technologies, but not only those, but also the prime ministers, the president of some countries, have the statement that support development of the blockchain technology.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just want to give a brief idea. Blockchain is a technology and crypto is an application built on the blockchain technology.
Yes.
So make sure while understanding the every question and query, there is no mix up about the crypto and blockchain. Right. So people are still crazy about, things is very different over there.
Yeah.
So just start with this, the conference coin advice here. Like, what do you think, like what is the important thing that you feel like happening in the industry right now?
Obviously, education, the very first thing, and
Perfect.
I think this is one of the core things that the organizer here try to do for the community. It's like putting the community together and to educate one another, right? And try to spread out the correct knowledge.
Yes.
All over, because even the tech guy, developers sometimes still doesn't have the clear idea for what blockchain is really about. Yeah, because it's new things, and it's not mature yet in the whole community, IT community kind of stuff. Yeah, only small portions of those people that jump in. I have a lot of people in the software development, but until today, I ask you, do you do something about blockchain? I said what? What about blockchain? Still a lot of people doing that, be like that. So it's like a lot of things to do, right? And especially the very first thing is the education.
That's a great part. Like as we always focus on the educating the community about the technology, because we believe any technology get popular only once they have a good developer community.
Yes.
Right. So that's the number one thing. Like I really agree with your points. Like education is really important in this technology.
Right.
Second part is like the security. It's like application related security.
Yeah.
So as Narinrit, you are from the security domain from the long time. You work few of the organization. So can you please highlight what people has to consider while building an application on the blockchain?
Okay.
Right.
When talking about the security, right, it has to be considered in every single step.
Yeah.
Right? Most of the people, they always think about the functionality first. When they design, when they do the requirement description, they try to do a design, this and that, implementation, until they finish, and they say, okay, now let's think about security. That's already too late. Okay, that's already too late. Okay, so when you think about the security, you have to think at the very first day. You think about the conceptualization. Conceptual, when you lay down the concept of what you need, you already need to have security concept within from day one of the requirement, statement kind of stuff. And from that, every other step have to, convey all those requirements into the design, security implementation, security testing, security deployment, security maintenance, and also the CTO disposal. What do you call that? Disposal. CTO disposal. Because some people, they are very good at developing and using, but when they finish using it, what are they going to do? They leave all the information like that with the server, with the hosting provider or something like that. All the password on the database is there. They do not
encrypt
it out, encrypt kind of stuff. So security has to be in every single thought, every single step. It has to be there. Okay.
So first point is like you should only focus while designing your application.
Yes.
It's a design phase is really important to handle the security flaws and everything. You can analyze all the permutation and combination related to your security, latest trending, hacks. Even I saw like recently there was a news like though crypto is a different market, but for the blockchain like you are storing the data in the different servers, right? At a time, it can get penalized if on the basis of some skill security experts, right? So what do you think like what measures that application developer has to consider after doing a testing and all, because there is always chances that there will be some penetration left, right? So if somebody find, do they have to take down their application for some time, or they still has to go and do it, because downtime is also very crucial thing.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I would like to share one thing in order to respond to what you just mentioned, that normally when we do the testing, okay, the security guy, when they do the security testing, normally when the developer do the testing, they do what when they're doing the design, they have the use case, right?
Use cases.
Yes,
Yeah.
the use case that who going to do what, something like that, right? And then they implement accordingly.
Yeah.
And when they taste according to the use case, right? For the security point of view, they have another way around.
Yeah.
They call it misuse case.
Misuse cases.
Misuse case, where they say, okay, they look at your use case and they say, okay, is there any way else that you can, go around doing that, this and that, other way that is not described by the conditioning provided by the programming, something like that. And that's the hacker will be using that misuse case and test against their application.
Applications, yeah. So it's always for any application, guys. Like you say, like the Facebook is also having such kind of an issue. Like everything once get deployed. After deployment and your product is live, it's always chances that it can get problematic or have some security loopholes.
Yep.
The number one thing that Narinrit told, that once you are deployed some another application or something, make sure you try to fix it as soon as possible before it is impacting to all your users or your application holders. Otherwise it will be a problematic, though downtime you have to sustain for that, right? Because it's all about the money gain, right? You are losing the business, your customers are also getting wrongly considered from your side. So that is the important part you should consider. So third question is like Narinrit.
Before that, can I add one thing first?
Sure.
To that, because as I mentioned earlier, that when we think about the security, we have to think about at the very beginning when you're doing the requirement phase, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about that security, so you will be implemented such requirement into your system, right? Most of the system that do not have this kind of concept in mind, they will just finish their software or application, right? Without realizing that the nature of the security of their software needs to be fixed and patched along the way during the using time.
It's like a security updates, like you should do it.
Yeah.
So let's start the very important question to Narinrit about what kind of application Narinrit you are building on the blockchain.
Okay, right now I'm a CEO of one of the very interesting project called IPUX. You can see on my chest here.
Okay,
The
IPUX.
yes.
IPUX, okay.
Yeah, right.
So
The
IPUX, this one, guys, you can just see it. Yeah. IPUX is the application that
IPUX is essentially a project,
Yeah.
okay, that we raise fund to support 7 activities, okay, which we are going to have the application to support all these 7 business activities.
Okay.
Which mainly to try to bring up, the economy of the agriculture of the farmer.
Okay.
Okay, so we support the organic farming kind of stuff.
Okay.
And for those farmers right now, most of them doing chemical based, right? And in order to help them transform from chemical based into organic one, it's not easy. And it's a big challenge. Need a lot of things. Many people try, but not successful. So we come up with the idea to integrate all these 7 things together to provide them and help them become organic farmers, okay, and help with many other things. One thing is we have like a business platforms, like marketplace for them, so that they can connect directly with the consumer, producer and consumer.
So there is no middleman. That's the beauty of a blockchain.
That's right.
Yeah. So this is another good application that the Narinrit team is building, because like how right now trading happen in the farming industry. farmer has to connect with the middle person first,
Yeah.
and then he has to. So this is a really good application that we can see right now from the Narinrit side. It is about farming, right? It is very important thing in everywhere in the world. Farming is the majority of a business of
Yeah.
many people in the world. So this will be really helpful because it is surpassing all the middlemen.
Yeah.
Right, and that's a beauty. Like farmers can get a good value from the end users directly instead of getting with the middleman.
Right.
Okay, so farming, that part that we discussed, like the application. What are the 7 factors that you're considering for this
Yeah.
one? Like,
Yes, and another thing is the product sourcing. Okay, we have like a marketplace that cut off the middleman, right? We have the product sourcing where we find the natural based resource organic, products.
Yeah.
Okay, we do the smart farming.
Okay.
Provide technology to do the better farming.
yeah,
We provide the education through what we call the Wisdom Academy, right? And then we provide financial support to the microfinancing, which we will do the peer-to-peer,
peer-to-peer transaction. That's nice.
That is
So
another.
this application is really, it's an end-to-end application. It's not about just trading from the farmers to the end users. It's all about selling the stuff to and giving the opportunity to all the farmers to sell their stuff to the right audience, from the consumer side to the farming side.
Yes.
So it's an end-to-end blockchain application. That's why the blockchain is built up, guys. See, this is very creative and innovative application that these guys are building. I believe like this is really helpful for the common public, because to success of any application is built on the consumption of that application in the common public, right?
Yeah.
So this is very good application that you guys are right now building up. So what is the stage of that application right now? So you are in the development phase, or you are actually launched some alpha or beta version of that?
Now on the doing the development phase.
Okay, all right.
Because we just in our ICO just couple of weeks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they just started to build up on this part.
Yes.
Like they have very promising things for this. Their IPO is, as he's saying, like they raised recently itself. So I hope like the architecture will have a very powerful architecture.
It is very challenging because with this project, it's not just the blockchain. Obviously, blockchain is like a core,
Yes, it is a backbone.
Yeah, it's like a backbone of the whole thing.
It's the operating system.
Yes,
I can say.
Yes, but we can.
Yeah.
But we have to also integrate it with the IoT, Internet of Things, like those
Absolutely.
in the smart farming gadgets, kind of, and also other part like the big data. Okay, where we bring in the numerous information and doing their analysis using the AI. Okay, because in order the word smart farming is not just robotic and automation, not just that, but it's also about the crop planning,
Analytics
strategy kind of stuff, when or where you have to crop what, okay, at the specific time in order to get the best price when the timing of the product grow and get to the market.
Wow.
It's not like everybody growing the same thing and then they hit to the market at the same time. So what happens? The price drops.
Yeah.
So no one win, right? So that is part of the what we call the smart farming as well.
Yeah.
That's require whole bunch of the information that needs to put together,
part is
demand
like-
and supply kind of stuff, and have to perform, having AI to help us analyze those.
So guys, important point is discussed, like Narinrit, as you discuss about the application that you're building. So one of the important factor what I actually like about your application is like your application helping both parties, that the consumer as well as the producer of
Yes.
that things,
Right.
to get a benefit out of that.
Yeah.
Because in the farming industry, like it's very important to schedule the crops and the situations and all, and as you are using the artificial intelligence and IoT,
Yeah.
because integration of a IoT and the blockchain is very much essential to leverage the power of the blockchain.
Yeah.
Because the data that we are collecting right now, it's very precious data, and we want to use that data for the future forecasting for the crops. Right.
That's right.
So,
that's
yeah.
right. And for the food industry,
Yeah.
one of the important thing that now the consumers look for is traceabilities.
Yeah.
They would like to know where and how the food before they come into their plate, where they are from.
Yeah.
from the origin of it, the processing of it, kind of stuff.
So people are very curious about, see, food, clothes, and shelter. These are the basic needs. So these guys are actually triggering to the right thing, like which is highly demanded in the world, right? That is the farming, and using the blockchain, they are building. So how we can find your project, which is ongoing? Like if somebody wanted to contribute for your ICO,
Yeah.
right? So what are the any links that you can wanted to share on your websites or something?
Sure. If you go to the IPUX.io,
Okay.
simple.
So it's also the IO site, guys. So
Yeah.
IPUX.io, right?
Right.
So it's like in the Bitcoin or in the blockchain domain, everything is very famous with the IO.
Right.
It's imports and export also, right? Yeah. So would love to get more details about your projects.
Yeah.
If you guys really wanted to know the entire end-to-end flow about this application, you can check the link in the comment section over there. You can comment any questions and queries. I will forward it to the Nariman about these things. We are ready to help you on this part. Like as a developer perspective also, you can ask any questions in the comments to Nariman. He is a very tech enthusiastic and he has a very in-depth knowledge about the technology and the application that he's building. Because as you know, like I travel a lot for these conferences. Many people are like, they are not the founders are not the tech guys, right? They don't know what is happening, right? So this is a big problem. Like if you don't know how your car is exactly built up, like which engine, which tires are built up, or you just want to make a Ferrari without knowing the engine, it's not a good idea. You should know everything about inside out. And that's the beauty of this guy, right? I believe like to have a more insightful things from his side. So till then we can have another discussion with him in future about his progress, about the application IPUX, and we will keep in touch with you. Till then, guys, see you in next time. Bye. Thank you, Narinrit.